What if I told you that the innocent, colorful Lego bricks you played with as a kid were at the center of a brutal, decades-long global war? A war not of armies, but of lawyers, patents, and billions of dollars. This is the untold story of the Lego Wars, a copyright conflict so intense it reshaped the entire toy industry. It all began with a simple, brilliant idea. In 1958, Godfred Kurt Christensen patented the iconic stud-and tube coupling system. This wasn't just a toy, it was a system of play. The tubes on the underside of the brick gripped the studs on top, creating a clutch power that was strong but not permanent. This innovation allowed for infinite creative possibilities and turned Lego into a household name worldwide. For years, Lego enjoyed a golden age, protected by this powerful patent. They were the undisputed kings of the construction toy world. But patents, by their very nature, have a finite lifespan. And as the 1970s and 80s rolled around, Lego's patents began to expire in various countries. This was the moment competitors had been waiting for. The floodgates opened. Companies like Tyco Toys in the United States and Mega Bloks in Canada saw their chance. They began producing their own interlocking bricks, often indistinguishable from Legos and, crucially, sold at a much lower price. For Lego, this was a declaration of war. They didn't just see it as competition. They saw it as an existential threat to their brand, their quality, and their very identity. So, Lego went on the offensive, launching a global legal assault. Their argument was simple. Even without the patent, the Lego brick itself had become so famous that it functioned as a trademark. When people saw that specific shape, they thought Lego. They argued that competitors were confusing customers and unfairly profiting from Legos hard-earned reputation. The legal battles were epic and spanned the globe. From the United States to Europe and Asia, one of the most famous showdowns was Lego versus Tyco. Tyco launched their Super Bloks in the 80s with an aggressive marketing campaign, directly comparing their products' compatibility and lower price to Lego. Lego sued, and the case went all the way to the US Supreme Court. The initial rulings were mixed, but the final verdict was a major blow to Lego. The court decided that the functional features of the brick, the very studs and tubes that made it work so well, could not be protected as a trademark after the patent expired. Allowing one company to monopolize a useful design forever would stifle competition, which is the opposite of what patent law is for. A similar, and perhaps even more bitter, battle was fought against Mega Bloks. This Canadian company became Lego's biggest rival. The legal fight between them was a marathon, lasting for years and crossing multiple borders. Lego took Mega Bloks to court in countries around the world. The climax came in a landmark 2005 decision by the Supreme Court of Canada. In a unanimous ruling, the court sided with Mega Bloks, reaffirming the principle that a functional design cannot be trademarked. They stated that trademark law was not meant to be a backdoor to create a perpetual patent. These legal defeats were devastating for Lego. For decades, they had relied on their patents to keep the competition at bay. Now, that shield was gone. The market was flooded with cheaper clone bricks. At the same time, the early 2000s saw a shift in children's interests towards video games and digital entertainment. Lego's sales plummeted. The company, once an untouchable giant, was facing a crisis and teetering on the brink of bankruptcy. It seemed like the war was lost. But this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Forced to innovate, Lego had to figure out how to win, not in the courtroom, but in the hearts and minds of consumers. They realized their greatest strength wasn't just the brick itself, but the asterisk world asterisk they had built around it. Lego embarked on one of the most remarkable corporate turnarounds in modern history. They stopped focusing on suing competitors and started focusing on what made them special. First, they doubled down on quality. While clone brands might look similar, their clutch power, color consistency, and durability often fell short. Lego reinforced its reputation for premium quality. You knew every brick from every set would fit perfectly, every time. Then came the masterstroke, licensing. Lego partnered with massive franchises like Star Wars, Harry Potter, and later, Marvel and DC Comics. Suddenly, Lego wasn't just selling bricks, they were selling stories. Kids could build the Millennium Falcon or Hogwarts Castle. This fusion of a beloved toy with beloved characters was a game-changer. It created must-have sets that clone brands simply couldn't replicate. The intellectual property, the story, the characters, the unique designs became their new, unbeatable patent. They also diversified their own original themes, creating rich, story-driven worlds like Ninjago and Bionicle, complete with TV shows and comics. They embraced the digital age with successful video games and blockbuster movies like The Lego Movie, which was not just a commercial hit, but a brilliant piece of brand marketing that celebrated creativity itself. They also listened to their adult fans, creating the Lego Ideas platform where fan designs could become real sets, and launching complex high-end models for a new generation of grown-up builders. The Lego Wars taught the company a hard but valuable lesson. They couldn't own the shape of the brick forever, but they could own the experience. They won not by building legal walls, but by building worlds. Today, Lego is more successful than ever, a testament to the power of creativity, quality and adaptation. The clone brands still exist, but they remain in LEGO's shadow, unable to compete with the brand's immense cultural power. The war for the brick may have been lost in court, but the war for imagination was won, piece by colorful piece. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of toys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories you thought you knew. See you next time.